Most people spend their whole lives adding things. They add routines, habits, goals, commitments. They think more is better. I'm 78 years old, and I can tell you they're wrong. The secret isn't what you add, it's what you let go. And if you don't learn that soon, you'll wake up one day exhausted by a life you built with your own hands. I know because I did it. I carried weight I didn't need to carry for decades. But before I tell you what finally broke me free, you need to understand something. The things stealing your energy right now aren't obvious. They don't announce themselves. They just quietly drain you until there's nothing left. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here because I wasted years. Good years. Years I can't get back. And if sharing what I learned helps even one person let go a little sooner, then this matters. I don't have decades left to share this. None of us do. Time moves faster than you think. So if this lands with you, leave a comment. Tell me which one of these hits hardest. I read every single one. Because this conversation, it's the only thing that matters now. For most of my life, I looked fine. I had a job, a family, responsibilities. I showed up. I smiled when I was supposed to. I said the right things at dinner tables and in meetings, but inside, I was running on fumes. Every morning I'd wake up at 5:47 am. I remember the exact time because I'd stare at that red clock display wondering how I'd make it through another day. The coffee tasted like dirt. The commute felt like a tunnel with no end. I was performing a version of my life, not living it. I wasn't present. I was a ghost in my own story. I wasn't living. I was going through the motions. Then one Tuesday in March, something small happened. I was sitting in my car outside a grocery store. Engine off. Keys still in the ignition. I just bought milk and bread, things I didn't even need. And I saw this kid, maybe 7 years old, laughing so hard he fell off the curb. His mom helped him up, and he just kept laughing. I sat there watching them walk away, and I realized I couldn't remember the last time I laughed like that. Not a polite chuckle, real laughter. The kind that empties your lungs. I put my forehead on the steering wheel. That's when I knew. Something had to change. But I didn't know what yet. Here's the lie I believed for 50 years. I have time. I have time to fix this later. I have time to deal with that next month. I have time to say what I need to say, to stop what I need to stop. Time stretches ahead like an open road, except it doesn't. It runs out. And when it does, you don't get a warning. You don't get a countdown. You just wake up old, holding on to regrets you could have dropped decades ago. Do you tell yourself that lie? That you have time? Because if you do, I need you to hear me. You don't. I knew a man named Frank. Worked with him for 12 years. Good guy. Funny. Always helping others. He spent his whole life people-pleasing. He said yes to everything. Every favor, every request, every committee. His own kids barely knew him because he was always busy being everyone else's hero. Then he retired. And within 6 months, none of those people called. Not one. He told me once, sitting on his porch with a beer neither of us wanted. I thought if I made them happy, I'd matter. His voice cracked. Turns out I just disappeared. Frank died 2 years later. Heart attack. I think about him all the time. I think about all the years he gave away. And I wonder, who are you giving your life to? Let me tell you what I regret. Not the big dramatic things. The quiet ones. I regret every hour I spent comparing myself to people I didn't even like. Scrolling through their vacation photos, their promotions, their perfect families. Feeling less than. Why? Because they had something I didn't. They were running their race. I was running mine. But I wasted so much time looking sideways I forgot to look ahead. I regret every time I said yes when I meant no. Every dinner I didn't want to attend. Every project I took on to avoid disappointing someone who wouldn't have thought twice about disappointing me. I regret the years I spent replaying arguments in my head. Conversations from 15 years ago, still rattling around like coins in a jar. What did it change? Nothing. It just kept me locked in a past I couldn't fix. I regret worrying about what people thought of me. People who weren't even thinking about me. They were too busy worrying about what I thought of them. We were all trapped in the same useless cycle. I regret every evening I spent exhausted, doom scrolling through news I couldn't control, problems I couldn't solve, tragedies I couldn't prevent. It didn't make me informed. It made me hopeless. I regret the grudges, the petty ones, the ones I held onto like trophies. They didn't protect me. They just made me smaller. And I regret every day I believed I'd feel better tomorrow without changing anything today. Tomorrow came. I didn't feel better. I just felt older. So here's what actually changed things. I stopped comparing. I deleted the apps. I stopped following people who made me feel bad about my own life. It sounds small. It's not. It gave me back hours. More than that, it gave me back my attention. I stopped saying yes out of guilt. I started saying, let me think about it. And then I'd ask myself, do I actually want to do this? Most of the time, the answer was no. So I said no. People adjusted. Some got upset. They moved on. So did I. I stopped ruminating. When my mind started replaying old conversations, I'd literally say out loud, not today. Then I'd go for a walk, or I'd call someone I loved. Anything to break the loop. It took practice, but it worked. I stopped trying to control what I couldn't control. The news, other people's opinions, the future. I started focusing on what I could, how I spent my time, who I spent it with, what I let into my head. I started protecting my peace like it mattered. Because it does. I let go of grudges. Not because people deserved forgiveness, but because I deserved freedom. Carrying anger is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. I was done poisoning myself. I stopped waiting for permission to rest. I didn't need to earn it. I didn't need to be productive enough, tired enough, worthy enough. I just rested. And the world kept spinning. I started choosing lightness over heaviness. Every single day, I'd ask, what can I let go of today? A worry, a commitment, an expectation. Just one thing. And life got lighter. Not easier, lighter. Here's the truth. You can't do everything. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't carry the weight of the world and still walk upright. But you can choose. You can decide what you keep and what you release. And that choice, that's where your life actually begins. It's not too late. It never is. Not while you're still breathing. So choose one thing, just one. One thing from this list. Comparison. People-pleasing. Rumination. Trying to control everything. Grudges. Overwork. Guilt. Pick one. And for the next 7 days, practice letting it go. Track how you feel. Write it down if it helps. Notice what changes. Then come back and tell me. Leave a comment. Tell me which one you picked. Tell me what happened. Because this isn't a lecture. It's a conversation. And I want to hear from you. Life doesn't get lighter by adding more. It gets lighter by letting go. That's it. That's the whole lesson. The question is, what are you still carrying that you don't need to carry anymore?